hear me? I'm just getting my computer set up so that I can see what's happening as well on my channel. If you've jumped on and you are expecting the mini catalogue launch, then you're in the right place. And we will get started very shortly. If you're there, say hello. Hopefully I will get some comments happening as well. I'm just going to my videos so that I can see. Okay, my videos. Live stream. Yeah, hopefully that will pop up. If you're there, say hello. Hopefully we've got some people jumping on. And it says it's public, so yeah. If you're there, say hello. Just wait a few more minutes. My channel. Okay, it's saying I'm playing, so hopefully, yeah, here we go. Expand. I have the chat here as well. So, it says I've got 2 people. Great, awesome. Well, welcome. I hope you guys have had a great Saturday. And I'm really looking forward to showing you some fun projects. If you were one of those people that subscribed, hi Jeanette, and requested your pack, your project pack in the mail, hopefully you received that on time, and hopefully you have all your bits and pieces ready to go. I think I mentioned that you'll just need to have some adhesives and some scissors maybe. Everything was cut for you. So that means that, I'll just turn this up a little bit. That means that hopefully you're all set to go. Now I will be saving this video to my YouTube channel. So you'll be able to come back and pause where you need to if you want to, if you would like to know a little bit more about the projects and how to put them together. You'll be able to do that afterwards. Hopefully I won't go too fast for you though. So yeah, without further ado, what I will do is I'm just going to flip the camera around and I want to go through a few things with you just to show you what has been released in the last couple of days. From the 6th, we had a couple of new products being released onto the online store, as well as the new catalogue, of course. So very exciting. We've got lots of beautiful new products. So I'm going to flip the camera around and just pop it in the cradle. And if you've got your catalogue handy as well, this might be a great opportunity, good opportunity for you to get that out and be able to flick through at the same time as us. What has actually launched? We have obviously had the launch of the brand new mini catalogue, which is this. Hopefully you guys all have it, have received it in your letterbox, and you've been going through it. You've been popping your post-it notes in, and finding out what your favorites are, what your favorite pages might be, what your favorite bundles, what your favorite other products are. There's a whole heap of new products in here that are now available, so you can go online in the online store and they are available on there as well. So yes, you'll want to make sure that you have a bit of an explore in the online store as well, because there are extra samples and extra bits of information about the products that aren't actually listed in the catalogue itself. So this is our brand new catalogue. Now the other things that have launched, let me grab this next little printout that I've got here. We actually have the launch of a brand new kit called Christmas Everywhere. And you would have seen that come into the kit collection. And it is now available for people who are wanting to order a Christmas kit and that have access to the online store. Obviously, you can order it through the online store or through me. If you'd like to get your own kit, let me know and I can organise that for you. But it's just as easy for you to go on and order it online or order several. Maybe you could give a couple away as gifts. These make great teachers' gifts, actually, if you've got people that are not necessarily crafty or have a lot of crafty things at home. These are all inclusive. This one contains enough materials to make 9 cards. And it's got some other cute little ideas for Christmas trees. So we've got a Christmas cactus and a Christmas palm tree. So it's not just for the Northern Hemisphere, this one. It's actually got a bit of variety. So yes, have a look out for that one. And we've also got a special release of new designer series papers. Let me just bring in the flyer for this. Here they are at a glance. You'll see that they've created some really cute little hexagonal boxes with them. So we have some brand new glimmer paper. Glimmer paper is something that we haven't had for a little while in our catalogue. So they've brought it back, but it's a little bit different to the glimmer paper that we're used to. It is actually adhesive backed glimmer paper. It comes in gold and silver. And it's in 12 by 12. You can punch, you can die cut it, you can just cut strips of it, but it has a self-adhesive backing. So you just peel off the backing and stick it straight on your project, which is fantastic. The next row is actually some specialty paper called tartan foil. So that's the tartan foil specialty paper pictured there. It's got lots and lots of different colours, berry burst, blackberry bliss, bubble bath. No, sorry, wrong. I'm reading the wrong list. It has got lots of different colours in the tartans. Let me have a look. Copper clay, lost lagoon and pebbled path. We've actually got some other colours that are pictured in the other papers above, so I'll go through those as well. So this is the tartan foil. It's also 12 by 12 and it has a little bit of a shine and a shimmer to it. So good for masculine cards. You could use it for things like Father's Day, Christmas, birthday, all occasions throughout the year. There is also a Traditions of Saint Nick designer series paper, and this has some gorgeous damask patterns in it, as well as some Christmas patterns. So again, you can use that for all year round. It's a little bit vintage. The colours are listed as what are they listed as? Let me just see if I can find that. They've got copper clay, Cajun craze, cherry cobbler, early espresso, wild wheat, pebble path and mossy meadow. So that's a really nice subdued colour combination. There's also another floral designer series paper which coordinates with one of our new releases in the catalogue. It actually goes with the what's it called? It's called Delightful Floral, the paper itself, but it is Translucent Florals is the bundle that it goes with. And you will find that the dies in the Translucent Floral dies actually coordinate with the images in that paper. So that's really gorgeous. That's got some berry burst and blackberry bliss in it as well. There's also another Christmas designer series paper, which is a specialty paper, and these are also 12 by 12. They're a little bit shimmery and shiny. Great for scrapbooking as well as card making, obviously. They've got some really fun Christmas themed images in them as well. So look out for that. That is also in the online store. You'll find that. And again, if you have the item code, if you've been looking online and you would like to purchase these, you can. Okay. Welcome everybody if you've just joined us. All right, so we have some prizes to give away today. So during my presentation today, I actually have 3 questions that I want you to write the answer to in the chat, in the comment section or the chat section. And you'll be able to, if you're logged in, you'll be able to write your answers down below. I wanted to show you the prizes that you could win. So of all of the correct answers for each of the 3 questions, I will just draw a winner out of randomly, and you will win a prize if your name gets called out. And this video will be up for the following week. So anybody who's catching it not live, but a little bit later on, will also be able to participate. So just again, type your answer down below, and at the end of the week, next Saturday, I will draw the winners out of a hat, and I'll let you know who's won. Okay, so the prizes are, you could either win a frayed ribbon bundle spool, which is great for use with any colour. They're nice neutral prizes actually, these ones. So there's a ribbon spool. You could also win the heart pearls, which consist of 180 little hearts there. So that's another prize that you could win. The other thing that you could win is the metallic and shimmer specialty paper, which has a couple of different colorways. I think it's Cajun Craze and Mossy Meadow, as well as the black and white. So that's really super versatile. You can use that all year round and for Christmas, obviously. So good luck, and listen out for the questions as I go through, because I will be asking 3 different questions, and if you answer correctly, your name will go into the draw for that. All right, let me just get myself set up and organized. Okay, we're going to do a quick catalogue tour before I start showing you the projects that I've got. If you want, you could also practice practice commenting, or in the chat you can type a hello so that you're familiar with where you need to put your answers as I go through. But this is the catalogue, and I'm sure most of you have had a little look through already. We have, I love the cover, it's a gorgeous cover, love green. It's kind of my signature colour. It's sort of almost the colour of my glasses. My glasses might be a little bit bluer, I don't know, but my blog is this colour. A lot of my branding is this green colour. And I love how there's that sort of stripe going diagonally across the page, and the samples on there. It's a really simple cover. It's not too busy, and I really like the focus on the stamping. So this catalogue runs from September through December 31st. No, 30th. It's just December 30th. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. No, 31st. Sorry. Forgot how many days there was in December for a second. So it runs through December 31st, and you'll be able to order all of the items in here while supplies last. I would suggest that if you really do want something, you get it early just in case. And we do apologise if your choice of product is not available when you come to order. Stampin' Up! Attempt to have their inventory, up to scratch, but they often, sometimes we run out of the most popular products. Sometimes they're forecasted correctly, other times they may not. So if there is something in here that really catches your eye, my suggestion would be to get it as soon as you possibly can, so that you don't miss out. And you'll have it in your collection then forever, which is good. All right, so inside the front cover we have the table of contents, and I'll try and get this reasonably in the middle so that you guys can see the page. If you've got your catalogue, you can follow on at home as well. There is a whole list of brand new product suites, which we have 8 new product suites in this catalogue. And they all consist of coordinating products which go together and also can be used separately, can be used with other suites as well and other products, but generally speaking, everything in a suite is going to coordinate. So it's a great way to buy your products in a suite, and you will probably already have picked your favorites. I know one of my favorite suites is one of the ones, well, the ones that I'm showing you obviously are the ones that I purchased because I loved them. The first one is the Merry Bold and Bright suite, and that's on page 8, and we're going to be looking at that in our last project today. So you will see that one in action. And a couple of others as well. If you're looking for bundles, they're all on page 66 to 73, and they've grouped them together, and they've got all of the pictures that show you what the dies are that come in the bundles, as well as a picture of the stamp sets that they coordinate with. You have the 10% off bundle price, and they are all listed at the back of the catalogue between page 67 and page 73, as I indicated. Some of the bundles have punches, so we've got the sparkling snowflakes over here, and that's a bundle, a 10% off bundle with a coordinating punch. Most of them will have dies. Here's another punch one, the modern oval punch, and that's the modern garden bundle, which coordinates with that. And you'll notice that punch is obviously versatile enough so that you can use it with other stamps and other embellishments. You don't need to be using it just with the modern garden stamp set, but it happens to come with it as a 10% off bundle. So that's a really versatile one. That one you can use all year round as well as at Christmas. You've also got the catalogue at a glance on page 74, just so you're familiar with where that is. If you turn to the very back of your catalogue, you've got images of all of the stamp sets, and you've also got some of the accessories. So we have the dies, so we've got the stamps and the dies. The embossing folders, the brand new embossing folders, are all pictured along there with a sample. There's the designer series papers, which are all pictured on page 76. All of the punches, all of the brand new punches are lined up at the top of page 77. We have accents and embellishments. We have tools, ribbons, and everything basically that's listed in the catalogue. So these will all belong to specific suites. If you are looking just for a specific element of a suite, come to the back and it's all in alphabetical order. So they're super easy to find and you'll be able to add them to your order. So say you're just wanting to get some glow-in-the-dark bats and ghosts, for example, you'll find them and their item code in the back of the catalogue on page 77 there. There are also some helpful icons to look out for, and you will find them throughout the catalogue as well. There is an icon for a quick and easy project, so if you're wanting something that's not too involved, it takes a limited amount of time to do. You've got a limited amount of time to spend, so it's a super quick and easy project. Look out for that, that emblem. There is also the distinctive stamps. They are a specialty kind of stamp, and one of the stamp sets that we're playing with today is actually a distinctive stamp, I believe. Is it or isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, they've got a lot of light and shade and a lot of detail in them. And distinctive stamps are often, like they've got a lot of detail in the rubber image. They're usually rubber, the red rubber, like these ones, and you'll find that they stamp beautifully, and there's really not much you need to do to them to make them look amazing on your project. Also, we have reversible, so you can flip those around on your block and stamp them on the other side, ink them up on the other side of the stamp, and they actually can be overlaid or stamped just by themselves, depending on what sort of a look you want to achieve. There is also the $1 Million Sales Achiever stamp sets, and they are also scattered throughout the catalogues. There are projects that have been sized to work with the dies that are included with the mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. So you'll find that they're best suited for the mini machine. Not all of our dies go in the mini machine. Some of them you will need the large machine for, and I'm using my large machine today just because I'm cutting from 6x6 designer series papers and glimmer papers and things like that. So I've already talked about the bundles, the 10% off bundles. If you're looking through the catalogue and you see WEB, that means it's an online exclusive product. So like the papers and the new kit that I shared with you, you will see those throughout see that symbol throughout the catalogue and know that that is an online exclusive. They've actually included some of the products from the online exclusives in this catalogue, which is great. Okay. Hi, you're watching from New Zealand, Melody. That's great. I thought you were away. I wasn't sure what the time difference would be for you, but maybe they're the same as us. I don't know. But I'm glad that you were able to join us. That's awesome. All right, so I think most of you probably know that it is Stampin' Up's 35th anniversary this year. Yeah, Stampin' Up has been around for that long. They've been in Australia since 2006, and that's the year that I joined as a demonstrator. So I've been a demonstrator nearly 17 years, and yeah, it's been great. I've really enjoyed it, and I love the fact that we get new products very regularly to play with. So this catalogue is no exception. It's full of brand new products. We also have a brand new set of papers which has a little bit of, there's a reason behind me sharing this. This one is, excuse me, I think I'm about to sneeze. No, I'm not, false alarm. So Stampin' Up have always sought to make a difference in the lives of others, and one of the ways in which they do that is by bringing out a special product, which the sale of which supports organisations dedicated to providing support to those in need. And in Australia this year, with this catalogue, we have a Walk in the Forest 12x12 designer series paper, and you'll see it pictured on this page, and there's a few little projects that have been created with it. It's very cute. It's actually got some bears and some trees and some lovely background designer series paper for gift wrapping, tags, cards. You could even use it for scrapbooking. And this one is actually through the sale of these papers, Stampin' Up are actually going to be donating $4.25 to Anglicare in Australia. So Anglicare, yeah, is one of those organisations that provides, you know, food, clothing, shelter, and financial support to those in need. So I think that's a pretty worthy cause. I think getting something like this paper is going to be really helpful around Christmas time as well. I use a lot of designer series paper in my projects. I don't know about you. I use it to help me work out what colours I'm going to use in a project, and maybe some layout, maybe even a theme of my card or my scrapbook page. So I think this one also will be great for masculine cuts. We've got some really kind of outdoorsy feel to it. There's some stripes, and there's some patterns like these stripes here that aren't necessarily for Christmas either. They're not necessarily Christmas ones. So I think I think it's going to be a great bundle of papers. So I'm going to get all of the new papers, I've decided, and I'm going to base my projects around them. So that's on page 5 if you're looking for that, and the item code is there. You can order that online as well. I will also just talk quickly about the online products and I've told you, wherever you see the word WEB or the symbol WEB, you know that it is an online exclusive. They are brought out regularly, so they're available while supplies last, and it's usually once a month that we get a brand new release of products, whether it's a new kit or the designer series paper that we've just shared. But you need to just visit the online store regularly so that you don't miss out on any of these new releases. And as I said, they're available for a short time while supplies last. So that means that if you do like something, if you really, really love this spotty gold and real red ribbon, for example, get it now so that you've got it in your stash and you know that you're not going to miss out on getting your favorites. Alrighty, what else do we have? I love that page. That's a page that's sort of demonstrating or showing a bit about the kits. We have some sneaky peeks of some of the new kits actually. I don't think we've got this banner kit yet. We've definitely only just got this festive tags kit, which I did a video on. There's our new Christmas card kit that I mentioned before, but this one looks kind of cool. I'm looking forward to this one coming out. I think that would be a fun class actually, to create a banner. It just looks gorgeous. But yeah, this is super fun. I love looking at pages like this, which just kind of give you little sneak peeks of upcoming products. So yeah, we'll look out for that one. I'm not sure what it's going to be called, but it's definitely there. It's definitely pictured. All right, so we've got Merry, Bold and Bright. This is one of the sweets that we'll be playing with today. I guess it was the colours of this sweet that really caught my eye, because I kind of wanted to steer clear of just the traditional red and green Christmas. So the Christmas card that I'll be creating with this sweet today will actually make use of some of the foil sheets. We're going to be doing a melon mambo coloured card with one of the foil sheets. We're going to be using some of the iridescent adhesive back discs. We're also going to be using some of the papers, scraps of the papers actually, as well as some of the dies. This could also be like party invitations, you know. You could definitely use this one all year round. I think fairy lights and outdoor lights, coloured lights, are not just for Christmas. I often leave my fairy lights up all year round. I've been known to do that because, yeah, I just love pretty fairy lights. I don't think they should be reserved just for Christmas. So that's a really fun sweet, and we'll get to play with that. There are lots and lots of other sweets throughout this catalogue, and the good thing about it is, as you're looking through, as always, the images, the stamp images, so you've got the stamp set pictured there, for example, on page 37, but if you go over the page, you've actually got all of these stamps pictured in actual size. So you'll see how big they're going to be on your projects. And it gives you a really good idea of perhaps how big the images are going to be, what size punch you might need, what size block you might need. And they do suggest the blocks for you as well. So it makes it really easy to flick through and work out what items that you're going to get for your project. I've got some beautiful new background stamps. I hope you didn't miss those on page 27. This fragrant forest one is absolutely stunning. I love the winter owls as well. I'm a bit partial to them. I think they're beautiful, especially those wings that are in the dies. I just think that's stunning. And I love how you can put the owl in the tree trunk like that. That's one that you could use all year round as well. It's not just a Christmas one, but yeah, look through the catalogue and things will probably jump out at you that this is stunning, this one. It's actually a whole suite called Oh Holy Night, and yeah, it's got matching papers and embellishments and ribbon. Night of Navy is the colorway, so that's a really lovely, sophisticated, elegant suite of products. This paper is gorgeous with the gold foil running through it as well. This little stamp set I used this morning in my YouTube live. So if you go back, hopefully it's uploaded now, and you'll be able to see the festive and fun stamp set and what I did with it this morning. I'm looking forward to playing with that a little bit more. But let's go to one of the other suites now that we are going to be playing with, and this one is called Garden Walk. And I chose this one because, again, it's one that's suitable for all year round. You don't have to just use it for Christmas, although there is a Christmas stamp. Let me just turn over and you'll see the stamp set. There's the stamp set. I love those bold flowers. I love how there's lots of rubber in the image. You could do all sorts of techniques like emboss resist. You could kiss one stamp onto another. And because it's flowers, even though it's got the poinsettia, which is Christmas themed, you know, especially here in Australia, you'll be able to use this stamp set all year round. It's got a birthday, it's got even a wedding or an engagement greeting. It's got Mother's Day you could use it for, and then of course the Christmas greeting as well. And it's paired with this fabulous punch called the Modern Oval Punch, and you'll see it pictured there as well. We are using this stamp set and punch in our make and take at the Illawarra Craft Alive in next month, at the end of next month. So put that in your calendar. It's actually the last weekend in October, and we will have a stand there with a free make and take, so you can come along and make something beautiful, and we'll be using this suite in particular. So that is the Garden Walk suite with some beautiful designer series paper, some braided linen trim in Calypso Coral, lovely colour, again not just for Christmas, some beautiful pearls, iridescent shiny pearls, and that fabulous punch and stamp set. So that's something to look out for. I think I'm playing with that one first. I will be showing you other samples today as well. So you may want to take a screenshot or take a photo with your phone if you're watching on your computer, so that you can have some ideas for some extra projects that I wanted to show you. Now the other bundle that we are using today, I'm just going to have a sip of water, is this one. It's the translucent florals. And I've already shown you the stamp set. It actually comes in a bundle, a 10% off bundle, with some gorgeous dies. Now I actually think these dies are beautiful enough to use them by themselves to create some really gorgeous flowers, which could be any flowers. They could be orchids, they could be gardenias. You could layer up more than 2 of them at a time. We're going to be layering them up with vellum, and if you've got your pack there, you would have seen that I've already cut these for you, and we're going to do something a little bit fun with the vellum. So keep them handy. You can actually have all of your packs sort of unloaded and ready to go, so that you're ready when I start showing you the projects, if you like. So that's translucent florals. Another page that is worth looking at in this catalogue is page 79, which has the host rewards listed. So there is a special host stamp set, which is called Framing Foliage. And you can only get this if you place an order of $250 or more, and you can purchase it with your host rewards and pay the difference if there is a difference, or you could add it into your host rewards. You don't have to have a party at your place to get rewards. Whenever you place an order of $250 or more as a customer either through me or the online store, I will remind you that you have rewards. The online store reminds you automatically, and it won't let you close off your order until you've chosen your freebies. So it is a really nice way of getting some things without having to pay for them. So yes, the Framing Foliage has its own item code, and it's worth 27 host reward dollars. And there's just a reminder of our host rewards table. You'll also get an item at 50% off once you reach $750 or more before shipping. So, if you've got a nice big order to put in, not only will you get rewards, it's at 14%, upwards of 14%, but you'll also get a half price item of your choice from anywhere in the catalogues. So that's really nice. Now, as always, there's a lot of reasons why you might want to consider joining Stampin' Up. Not only do we have a beautiful new catalogue, we will be getting more new products towards Christmas as well. You can still join Stampin' Up for $169, and you can build your starter kit yourself by selecting any products anywhere in either the annual catalogue, which is this one, or the mini catalogue. Whatever current catalogues there are, you can choose your catalogue items up to, your Stampin' Up starter kit items up to $235 worth from either of these catalogues. You can also, if you wish, choose online exclusives. If you know the item code, just go to the shop and say you wanted to get some of those gorgeous new papers. You could list some of them as your starter kit items as well. As long as your order comes, your starter kit comes up to $235 or under, you'll be able to add that to your starter kit, and the shipping is free on the kit. You don't pay shipping at all. It's a great way to meet people that love crafting as much as you do, and make some beautiful connections. I have met some amazing people through my Stampin' Up career, and some of them have joined my team, some of them have been customers for many, many years, and we still enjoy getting together regularly and stamping together. So you won't be alone either. If you do want to actually create a small business out of joining Stampin' Up, I'm here to help you, but Stampin' Up have a lot of resources on their demonstrator website that will also help you with that. It's a great community to belong to, and there's lots and lots of perks, not just a great discount, but lots of other perks as well. So that's all that I really wanted to share with you. Just a reminder too that there will be some items throughout the catalogue which some projects, that are shown, which use items from the annual catalogue, and you will see they're marked with AC. So I love this picture. It's showing some of the other stamp sets from the annual catalogue in a Christmas wreath. And yeah, these bows are gorgeous. There is a template online to show you how to make one of these bows. But there's some really, some gorgeous little embellishments that they've used. And there's the fairy lights again, see? I love wreaths. You can actually decorate a wreath in any occasion. So it's not just for Christmas. You can have an Easter wreath. You can have a Halloween wreath. You can have a seasonal wreath that changes with the seasons. It's up to you. But yeah, I just love that colour at the that picture at the end of the catalogue. It's lots of fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that very quick tour through the catalogue. Hope it helped you become familiar with where some of the things are that we'll be using today. And I'll try and remember the names of everything. But I think it's time for our first project. Our first project is a card, and if you've got your project pack there, if you registered early and received that pack in the mail from me, you would have received your card base and an extra piece, a piece of the designer series paper, which comes from this suite. I'm going to open it up so I can see exactly where it is and what everything's called, just to remind me. So this is the Garden Walk suite, and it's the Garden Walk 6x6 designer series paper. We have some of the beautiful Calypso coral twine. I've also got a piece of basic white, just cardstock, basic white cardstock. I've got my pile of the papers here just to show you what they're like in real life. You'll probably be able to see them a little bit better than what's in the catalogue. But you'll see the main colour that runs through at least one side of each of these papers is the Calypso coral. So it's going to coordinate with all of the papers, which is why they've included it, the twine as a Calypso coral colour, the braided linen trim, sorry, you'll see that there's lots of lovely florals, but there's also some plainer designs on the back. So it's quite versatile and certainly not just for Christmas. You will find that you'll use this all year round. And yeah, I've chosen the garden green stripe, which has the floral on the other side, mainly because I didn't want the background to overpower the card, and I want this one to be a Christmas card. All right, so I've actually used some of this paper, it's actually a specialty paper. I think it's called Sparkle, Glimmer and Shine, I can't remember, and it comes in the champagne as well as the gold. It reminds me of a glow mesh bag, this one, I love it. And I just love the chunkiness of the glitter. It's really cool. So I have already cut, just using my, my 2 circles from the Stylish Shapes. I've cut them, I put them one inside the other, and I've cut a ring I've just put that through my large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the standard machine, and I've cut a ring out of it, which is going to form the basis of my card design. I also have some stamps here, so I'm going to grab those, and they of course come from the stamp set, the Modern Garden stamp set, and I'm using these ones. They're the poinsettia type flowers, I guess. You'll find that they can be stamped one on top of the other. They're designed to be a 2-step stamp, but you don't have to line them up perfectly. You'll see none of these is perfectly symmetrical in shape. So you can really layer the different flowers together and get some fun effects with them. And as I said, there's lots and lots of different ways that you can use them. So that's our stamp set that we're playing with. And the colour that we're using is Calypso Coral. So if you've got your pack there, you'll just want to get your Calypso Coral ink pad out. And if you don't have this stamp set, some of you obviously may not have it because you may not be demonstrators and you may not have been able to order things early. That's okay, just use another stamp set which has flowers in it. Or you might even want to use a stamp set with baubles. It doesn't really matter because the design of this card is actually very versatile. You can stamp anything. So you'll notice I've actually stamped it once and then I've stamped it again without re-inking. That's because I wanted my background flower to be a little bit lighter, and I'm going to come in with the smaller flower and just stamp over the top like that. So I've got a double flower there, so that's my large one. I also wanted to stamp the smaller one a couple more times because we're going to have 3 flowers on what I guess is going to be a wreath. It's going to be a wreath shape. So I'm going to get my embossing buddy next. That's my next step. And I'm going to wipe over these flowers, the 3 that I'm going to be using, because I'm going to emboss. Now this is the stamp that comes in the set. It's like a whole series of dots. It looks like the middle of a flower. So you can stamp it in the middle of any of these flowers actually, and just create what looks like stamens, I guess, or where the pollen is in the flower. And I'm going to use Versamark and some gold Stampin' Emboss powder from our metallics. So I will stamp one there. One there. I'm using the same stamp for all 3 of my flowers, and then I'm going to just put my powder on like that. And if you're super clever, you don't need a tray. I do have my tray here, but I won't bring that in. You can just funnel that back in, and I can see, yeah, that's all in the right spot. So I'm going to grab my heat tool. I'm going to grab that from over here. So that was one thing I forgot. I forgot to get my heat tool, but I found it. Just going to plug that in. Plug my light back in. All right, there we go. Okay, let me just heat this up so that you can see what it looks like. There we go. So what I did then was, there's actually no punch or die that goes with these. So I've just cut them out freehand, and you'll see my original ones there. I've just cut them out with my paper snips, and that's fine, that works beautifully. And these are the ones that I am going to pop some dimensionals on the back to pop on my project eventually. What I might do though, first of all, is just adhere the designer series paper to my card. I'll use a smidge of Tombow glue. You could use your Stampin' Seal or your double-sided tape, your Terran tape, whatever you find easier. So my circle, my wreath is going to go about there, and there's going to be some things hanging off the edge. I actually do want to stamp a greeting as well, just inside there. So I'm just going to use that as a guide and embossing buddy that. I will use my Versamark again. And I want it to be sort of towards the top at the left. So certainly not in the middle. I do want to create a little bit of space down the bottom right for the flowers. I want them to sort of sit in that position. So they've got a little bit of space around them. So there is my greeting. And I will also heat that. So if you have excess powder from your embossing buddy, just wait a little bit before you rub that off. Sometimes it takes a little while for your powder, your embossing to sort of set. You don't want to be rubbing that when it's still hot. So just leave that for a second or two. And you'll see now it's just slightly off center up towards the left, and we've got room for our flowers down here. So we're going to go ahead and stick this. Aren't you excited about the new glimmer paper, which is going to be self-adhesive? How cool will that be? No more worrying about how to stick glimmer paper on. That will just be brilliant. But yeah, that was easy enough just with Tombow. You don't need much Tombow. Remember, it's the less is more glue. While that's still drying, I'm going to apply a couple of these small dimensionals to the back of my flowers. I'm going to have them all sitting up just so they stand out a little bit from the card. I love small dimensionals. It's really easy to put them exactly where you want them, and you get twice as many in your pack. And then don't forget to use the surround. The surround is actually really good for shaker cards because you've got those lovely straight edges and the glitter doesn't get all stuck in there. But you can use these just as dimensional tape as well. And you can tear them. You don't have to cut them with scissors. They're brilliant. I love our dimensionals, and they sit at just the perfect height. They're not too tall, and they're certainly not too bulky, these little ones. They're very, very compact and versatile. All right, so I'm going to get the backing off these, and then I'm going to arrange them just at the bottom right of my wreath. And it's kind of a bit of an Australian themed Christmas card, this one. We don't really do snow here, although I do love snowflakes and I think they're really pretty. If you want something that's authentic and Australian, you want to use nice warm colours. You want to use maybe poinsettias instead of snowflakes, which still have that sort of round shape, so they'll go with a card like this. I'm just rubbing off my Embossing Buddy powder, but yeah, it's definitely Southern Hemisphere type theme rather than a snowy, cold Northern Hemisphere. So I think that is quite stunning. I'm going to add just a little bit of this twine. So this is the Calypso Coral braided linen trim, and you can fray this and twist it, untwist it, and create some threads like that. And if you just grab half of the threads, so yeah, maybe 2 threads, you could tie it in a bow, and it sits really nicely on your project. It's not too bulky. So don't forget, you are allowed to alter these twines and threads and ribbons that we have in our catalogue. If you don't like the thickness of them, yeah, just change them and make something that you're happy with to put on your project. So I'm just going to apply that down there with one of those glue dots. And there is my card, wishing you the warm blessings of Christmas. I'll bring my original one in so that you can see that. So there's the 2 cards. I've got 2 Christmas cards here ready to go. I just really love that gold, the gold wreath. I think it's a super simple card, and I think, as I said, you could replicate that with all sorts of different stamp sets. Anything with a flower or a snowflake or a circle shape would be brilliant. All right, let me show you some other projects. Here is a quick project that I put together. I made a little 3D shadow box, and there is a pattern for this online. If you search making a shadow box out of a 12 by 12 piece of this is actually the backing from our designer series paper. I collect these to make things like this with 3D items. But this is some of the paper. I've just cut the flowers out, used some of those gorgeous pearls, a little bit of twine, and I've created a little shadow box which would make a nice gift for someone. Actually, you could put a photo in there, but I just made a little wreath. Could be a birthday present, this one. Really sweet. Here are a couple of cards as well that I've made. Let me just get my lid back on my Versamark. So let me take these and pop them there. All right, so here is, I ended up with a circle. Once I cut my ring out of the stylish shaped circles, I ended up with a circle that was made out of that sparkly gold, and that's quite fun too. That one, that's using some of the papers. If you had the papers, if you had your packs, you would have received some of these already cut, and all you need to do to make your card is actually cut them out and stick them on. I forgot about that. So yeah, you didn't need to stamp anything. Makes it super easy. Here's another one which is more of a birthday theme. I've actually used some of the images in the background. So I've stamped over the top of the paper. So that's that image there that I've used. And yeah, the colour is, of course, what colour? Pretty Peacock? Yes. Peacock is the colour that I've used. Here's another Peacock and Lost Lagoon card, and this one says enjoy your special day, using some of the beautiful floral paper. So I'll just put these together. Here's another one, 3 birthday cards, quite different. Here's another circle just cut out of the striped paper. I've stamped these flowers and I've cut some of the leaves out of the designer series paper. Because there's not actually a lot of leaves in the stamp set, but you can use it together with the papers, and there's some more gold embossing. So that's 3, and here's another one in a different colorway, I should say. This one has some wild wheat in the background, I've got a little bit of stamping underneath the vellum there in the background that you can just see. The vellum softens it a little bit, and that is stuck to some Mossy Meadow Mossy Meadow card base, and I've cut some of the flowers out of the designer series paper as well. So just a few extra projects that you can make using this. Oh, and here's our punch. Not that we used it today, but that comes as a bundle, as I said, with the Modern Garden. And looking forward to using this one at the show, but it's been really versatile so far. Lots of things you can do with that punch. Okay, so my first question to go in the draw to win the prize, my first question is, name one of the special release designer series papers, just one, in the online store. So that's the special release designer series papers, which came out on the 6th, a couple of days ago. Name one of them, and I'd like you to write the answer, and all of the people that get the answer correct, or one who answer correctly, it could be any one of the papers, they'll go into the draw to win the first prize, which I think we'll say it's the ribbon. There you go. The first prize will be the ribbon. That's the white frayed ribbon. So good luck, everyone. Don't forget to write your answers down. All right, project number 2. Let's have a look. What have I got here? Oh yeah, this one's fun. Okay, so I said we were going to be using the translucent florals, and we have some pre-cut things here. If you also were somebody who registered early and ordered your packs in the mail, you will have all these bits and pieces. So I've cut some vellum flowers for you using the, where are they? Not Stylish Shapes. These translucent florals dies is what I've used to cut them out. And I can't find my dies yet, but that's okay because I've got these already pre-cut. So I'll just lay them out. So we've actually cut from the die set, which matches this stamp set. We've actually cut all of these already. So I'm going to just lay them out. We need 3 flowers, and I'm doubling the flowers. So I'm actually creating a double flower for each one. And as I said, we're going to be doing something a little bit different with them. Something that you may not have done before. There we go. Put that there. All right, and we've got 2 leaves as well. 2 leaves, and these are extras. Okay, let me just pop these to the side. I've already cut a circle from my Stylish Shapes again, same size as what I cut before. I'm going to run that through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and just emboss a pattern on it from one of the online exclusives embossing folders. And it comes in a set of 3, and I've forgotten what it's called already, but if you have it and you remember what the set of folders is called, let us know, because I would like to remember. It's a really beautiful set. It's got like flowers, it's got this crosshatch pattern, and it's also got the domed circles as a background. So we're just going to pop this in, and I'm going to duck over and grab my grey 3D adapter plate. I'm going to take everything off and pop that down straight on platform number 1. And this is number 4, which is the 3D adapter plate, and that just goes in and we roll it through. There we go. So I'm very glad that I already had all these cut, so I don't have to cut all my flowers either, all my leaves. All right, so all of these elements are now ready to go. I've also used one of the punches. This is like a label punch, which pops a hole and a slit, but I've just punched out the label in Misty Moonlight, which is also going on my card. So that's all my bits there ready to go. And we can pop that to the side as well. Okay, now to make these little flowers a bit more interesting, I'm actually going to bring in some Stampin' Blends. I used some Stampin' Blends this morning in my quick online video that I made. But this time we're using the light and dark Wild Wheat and the light and dark Boho Blue. So they're both in colours. And they, because they're Stampin' Blends, they will stay put when we apply them to the back of the vellum, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to use, first of all, I'm going to use the dark Boho Blue. I'm going to flip them over because there is a right and the wrong side. The concave side is the wrong side. I'm just floating this colour over. I'm using the wide brush, but you'll notice that I'm not going all the way out to the edges. It actually looks a little bit better if you have some of those edges just showing a bit of white still. And I'm going to use a different colour. This is just the lighter colour for the one that's going on top, just for a bit of contrast. And what you'll get when you layer these together is you'll get a lovely sort of light and shade effect, and it ends up looking like a double flower like that. Very pretty, very delicate. Vellum is just gorgeous to work with. So I'm going to do that with all of them. You could do these in a different colour. It doesn't really matter what colour you used. I've got a sample here where I've used some Moody Mauve, and I've changed the colour of my designer series paper in the background. And yeah, you could do them in yellow, you could do them in Moody Mauve, you could do them in purple, whatever colour you like. So on the back, just float the colour, use the big end so that it's covers a large surface. You'll find it really easy to colour on the vellum because it's so smooth, right? But the good thing is, once this is dry, it stays put. It really is, it's indelible. So it's essential to use your Stampin' Blends ink markers on vellum. The other markers just wouldn't cut it. They would just rub straight off. For our leaves, we want to colour one of them in the light Wild Wheat, just taking it almost to the edges, and then the other one in the dark Wild Wheat. And there they are, all ready to go on. I'm going to stick them together using some glue dots. So we'll stick the flowers together first, and then I'm going to show you a little trick with the Wild Wheat cardstock. That actually learnt this technique through one of my swaps that I received, and I'll show you the swap in a second. One of the swaps I received in Norway, actually used this cool technique for the middle of some flowers. So I will show you that in a second. But basically the technique is you will need to get a strip of whatever colour it is that you want to use for the middle of your flower. So mine is Wild Wheat. I've got just a strip or a scrap of Wild Wheat cardstock, and you get your bone folder. So your bone folder here, and what you want to do is just distress the cardstock like this. And keep distressing it and breaking those fibers. See how I'm flipping it over? I'm doing one end and then doing the other end. And the idea is what we want eventually is for it to start splitting in two along the flat surface of the cardstock. Our cardstock is very thick, and so this technique will work really well. If you're using a cheaper cardstock, a less thick with a lower GSM, then it may not work so well, this technique, but it works brilliantly with ours. So it's strong enough to just keep doing this with it. And then eventually you'll start to see, takes a little while, eventually you'll start to see the ends start to split like this. And you get the corner and then start peeling from that corner. And what you'll see is a beautiful, I call it faux suede, but it feels just gorgeous. But it's basically creating two sheets of cardstock out of one, and it's half as thick. So go with the one that feels the lightest. And then what you want to do is just tear some little strips like this, just random strips. They don't have to be neat. You want to end up with about three or four. It's probably a bit big. Okay, so you've got a couple of little scraps like this. And then what you're going to do is get one of our Stampin' Spritzers. This has some isopropyl alcohol in it. So it's called Isocol. You can get it at the chemist. And it is basically pure alcohol. And what happens with it is it provides some moisture for the technique that we're about to do. But it then dries very quickly. So you don't have to wait for it to dry. You don't end up with soggy cardstock. So what I'm going to do is just roll these up into a little ball. Roly, roly. And so I want 3 of them because I've got 3 flowers, right? So you just want to roll them up as small as you can. And then just keep crushing that cardstock so it rolls up really small. And then you want to get 3 of these little balls in your hand. I'm just going to go and turn my heater down because I'm feeling a little bit warm. And when you've got the balls ready in your hand, you're going to get your spritzer with the isopropyl alcohol and just spray it. Spray it with a bit of the alcohol and keep rolling them. This will break the fibers down even more, but it's not going to stay soggy for long because this evaporates very quickly. And you'll end up with some little rounds of paper that are then dry enough to stick straight onto your project. But it just helps you make it a little bit more malleable. I'm going to sit those there for a second. Let me show you the project that I received at the incentive trip, which had this technique. So you see those little flower centers in the middle of the daisies there? That's this technique. And it's basically, you know, cardstock that has been rolled up and squished down using, you know, I think pretty sure she's used isopropyl alcohol because you wouldn't really want to use your water, otherwise it'd just take too long to dry. So I'm just leaving those there to dry off a little bit. They're almost dry. So yeah, this is a little card that was made using this technique, and it was done by Sonia Benedetti. Yeah, I think she's from France. There you go. Yes, so fun technique, and you can make this out of any of our cardstock. As I said, it works really well, brilliantly with really good quality cardstock. So these are now ready to go on. I'm just going to flatten them out a little bit. They do actually leave a little bit of a stain. Look at that. So our cardstock is dyed with the same dye as is in our ink pads. I don't know if you know that. I'm just going to get a little glue dot and pop that in the middle underneath. Actually, I lost my glue dot. It's not adhering perfectly, but we'll see how that goes. And we've got this one. Just got to get those glue dots on there so that, there we go. Oops. Sometimes you'll get little bits of the paper come off, and that's okay. Just put that to the side. You don't need to worry too much about that. Okay, there you go. I've got 3 really cute little flower centers, and they will be ready to go on my project once I've put everything else together. I'm just going to move them out of the way a little bit. And so they'll be ready to go on. All right, so here I'll put those leaves to the side as well. Here is my my card base. I've got some designer series paper. This is from the annual catalogue. You'll find this, it's Country Corners, I think it's called, the suite. And I just want to layer some of these up because they're the boho blue. I just want to layer some of these up so that we can, why is my glue not working? Let me try this end. There we go. It all went down the other end. So yeah, basically just layering all of these designs up so that I can pop the flowers on the top. Might need a little bit of glue for the center of the flowers. I'll see how I go. Weren't quite dry enough. All right, so here we go. Here is our circle, and that goes on next. That sort of just provides a bit of a centerpiece and a bit of a focal point for the flowers that we're about to put on. I also need to make a greeting, and I'm going to be doing some clear embossing onto the Misty Moonlight cardstock. And one of the greetings in this set is Happy Birthday. So I need a birthday card, so I thought I'd make one. We're actually not using any of the stamped images, although I have got some samples of those. I've used that on some cards that I wanted to show you in a second. All right, so we've got our Versamark, and we have our embossing buddy. I'll just give that a quick wipe with that. Happy birthday. And we've got our clear powder. Clear powder, where did you go, clear powder? Did have my clear powder, but if I don't, I can bring the original one in to show you. So I'll just leave that to the side. It doesn't have the clear powder on it, but when you use the clear powder, you'll see, it goes a lot darker, and obviously it goes shiny when, oh, there it is. I can just see it. See if it's not too late. No, that's the white. Is that the white? Got things scattered over my desk in my craft room here. Now that is actually the clear. There you go. So see what happens. It changes from a watermark to something quite a bit darker, and it looks really good. You can start to see it there. There we go. So doesn't that look nice? It's got like a shininess, and it goes quite a bit darker. So not just your Versamark watermark, but it will go quite a bit darker. Okay, so there is my greeting ready to go. And what I'm going to do now is just adhere my flowers. So I've got some more glue dots here, and I'm going to arrange them so I have a couple of flowers just at the top left hand corner of the card. Just a glue dot behind is all you need. These are perfectly dry now and they seem to be sticking okay. If you need to, you can add some extra glue, that's fine. All right, there we go. So there's my flowers right at the top, and I'm going to just use another couple glue dots behind these leaves just to fill out the space a little bit. There we go. And my greeting, I'm going to just pop that down the bottom there, which I think looks quite nice. So I'll grab a couple of the dimensionals, about 4 or 5 of them, and just stick them at the back. That's going to sit the greeting up a bit nicely. The twine that I'm using is actually from the In Colour twine pack, and I have again altered it so that yeah, you get a little bit more twine out of the one spool. I've actually got one thread. It comes in 3 strands. So the In Colour jute trim, comes in the 5 in colours, and that's the thickness of it. You can probably see through the packet, but that's just one strand of it. And you only need 1 strand. On a card that's this delicate, you actually don't want to have a lot of bulk. So I'm just going to tie a bow and grab another glue dot. And are you guys ready for the next question? Because I have another question here that you can answer. Haven't seen any answers yet either. Maybe you're still thinking. Okay, so here is my card. Here is a different version of the card. So this one I've used the same punch, but I've turned it on its side so it actually fits this little greeting from the stamp set, wishing you all the happiness in the world. There's a number of different greetings, but I've just chosen those 2. So that's a Moody Mauve version, using obviously different coloured blends. Here we have 2 cards which use the stamps as well. So I'll put these ones to the side. I have some different papers. This is also some designer series paper from the annual catalogue. Just a lovely floral, happy print. I love the colours, and I've taken my cues from the colours in the papers, of course. I've got a little bit of foil. That's the rose gold foil. I've got some of the trim from one of the other suites. Really love that trim. I've used another punch. And yeah, and there is the flowers from the translucent florals stamped in 2 different colours. So you've got that really soft pink colour, petal pink, as well as some of that new Lost Lagoon, the returning colour Lost Lagoon, which is in both of them are in the papers in the background. So yeah, just a little bit of a different idea using some of the image stamps from the translucent florals. So yeah, you'll find that stamp set. It's a standalone stamp set. No, it's a bundle, beg your pardon, with the dies. And I'm sure I put my dies somewhere very safe. But thankfully I cut out my my flowers beforehand, so it's all good. All right, so let me just find my other question that I wanted to ask you. So this is question number 2 for another prize. I want you to name 1 new bundle from the new mini catalogue. So that's pretty easy. We've just played with one. I won't remind you what that was called, but name 1 new bundle from the mini catalogue. And you can write your answer down the bottom. I'll write it in the... oh, thanks, Melody. Yeah. Yep, I love boho blue. It's such a gorgeous colour. And yeah, it goes really nicely with the Misty Moonlight. It goes with the other blue, Balmy Blue. You can sort of layer it up with all different blues, and Stampin' Up's really good at coordinating colour. So, you know, if you've got a couple of different blues from our colour suites or colour collections, then they're all going to coordinate and go together. And you can sort of accent with a darker cardstock if you want to. Yeah, boho blue is definitely a favourite. All right, so naming one new bundle from the new mini. That was number 2, question number 2. Now, our third project. Let me just get some space here so I can show you our third and final project. And this one is using the Merry, Bold and Bright suite, which was probably the first suite that caught my eye in the catalogue. It was the bright colours, it was the papers, it was the embellishments, and I loved the foil as well. The foil, the granny apple green and melon mambo foil. Now, I'm also using a die just for the words from the Timeless Arrangement. So that's that die there. I've pre-cut that. Here's our embellishments. We're using a die from the Merry and Bright bundle. It's that lovely ribbon, dynamic ribbon die. And here is our foil. Now, the foil is absolutely gorgeous. It is super shiny, so you can use it as is. It's very pretty. But I'm going to emboss that with the honeycomb die, just to give it some added texture, because I think it really suits. Yeah, I just love embossing foil. I think it looks gorgeous. So let me just pop that over there, and I'll bring in my Stampin' Cut emboss machine again. Now this is a 3D folder, so we'll just need our plate number 4, and we're just going to run that through like that, and it's going to put a really pretty pattern straight onto our foil. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. Really nice. Okay, let me just pop that to the side again. I keep picking up this paper. Must be something sticky underneath my boss, I don't know. All right, so it gives pops a bit of a bend in it when you've embossed your foil, but you can just bend it again back the other way. Nothing wrong with doing that. It will flatten out again because it's pliable and it tends to hold its shape. So just bend it back so it's flat before you put your adhesive on the back and stick it on your project. So don't worry too much about that. All right. Now, I do need to cut. I need to cut my ribbons. So let me do that. I've already cut my word window. So let me just layer up my boss. And I'm going to cut this. There we go. And we just want all our plates on again, and the two cutting mats. And I'm just going to cut one of these because we've got 2 ribbons that will come out of this, and we're using both of them on our card. If I wanted to, I could use the dye adhesive, but yeah, I'm not going to this time. I'm just going to use my my glue at the back to stick it on. If your die cuts get stuck, just use the edge of your die like this. Just gently kind of bring it under, and they should pop off your plate. Okay, you could use your fingernail, but if you don't want to ruin your fingernails, use the edge of your die. It's nice and sharp. It won't damage it. It's all good. Okay. All right, so what we have here is our piece of foil, which we've already embossed. We're also going to use some scraps of the DSP. So this is the designer series paper, which comes from the Merry Bold and Bright suite. And it is really gorgeous. It will go with pretty much all of the papers, sorry, all of the other embellishments. So we've got obviously the foils, but we've also got these dots, and they've got the red, the pink, they're all iridescent, so they're all going to kind of pick up the colours around them. I'm just going to give these a little bit of a trim because they're not quite, unless I mix and match them this way. Yeah, they need a little bit of a trim. So I'm wanting to have squares on my background. So I'm just going to cheat a little bit and use my scissors. And then arrange them a little bit better on the card. I don't have to be exact. But they're really fun prints. I just love them. I love the stripes, I love the spots, and I love the Christmas trees. But, you know, if you didn't want to have a Christmas theme, you could leave off the trees and just have the stripes and the spots, right? If you were doing, say, a birthday card. But because this is a Christmas card, I actually do want to have, yeah, the trees, a little bit of the trees. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so we have our squares. There we go. You just want to have an even amount of the foil around each of those. And I'm going to go ahead and use my glue again. Just a smidge on the back of each one. And I'll arrange them in that sort of square grid pattern. If you have little scraps like this, cut them into squares and use them to make a card like this. You don't want to throw away any of this gorgeous paper. It is just too yummy. And it just makes me feel happy when I create with it. I love it. Okay, yeah, that's looking good. All right. So even though our trees are going sideways, I think that's okay. There we go. So you've got your 4 squares in the middle of your foil. I'm just listening to my son watch the tennis upstairs. And you've got these 2 little strips. Now we're going to put these on and we're just going to trim them off so that they are, in fact, the size of the square piece. So don't worry if they're too long at the moment. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of the glue, just a smidge on the back, and that's going to go straight down. Might try and line up one end, so we only have to trim one. There you go. I'll take it right to the edge. Whoops. And always on the underside. So there is a right and a wrong side of these. You'll see it when you're looking at them up close, but the correct side is like a dome and the wrong side is just really flat. So you'll see when you've cut it what I mean. There we go, like that. Okay, straighten that one up a little bit. All right, so this is looking good. I'm liking the look of this. Okay, now we have our little word window, and that's, as I said, from the Timeless Arrangements. And we are going to stamp just a little greeting, and we're going to use the What Fun, so the Oh What Fun stamp. We don't need to say Oh at the beginning. We can just use our Stamp and Write marker. Now this is the water-based marker. And I'm going to ink up the what and the fun and the exclamation mark. So this definitely could be used as a party invitation. You could use it as a New Year's Eve invitation or a birthday invitation. Yeah, you could even use it as a thank you card. Thank you for inviting me. So what fun is stamped just straight down onto that word window like that. There we go. Okay, so that's going to go, actually might swing it around this way. And we might have it going there because it stands out a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, don't be afraid of using your stamps differently, even if you want to block off the to you and just use the to you on that stamp, not and yours. You know, you can play around with these, and you can just use the word jolly. You can just use the word fun if you wanted to. Use your Stamp and Write markers to get more out of your greeting stamps like that. Okay, so we're just about ready to, to stick this on. I'm going to just give this a little slight trim. Use that as my guide, the pattern as my guide, just to even it up a little bit. So it's making me squint at the moment. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to use our dimensionals. And about 3 or 4 of them on the back. You could even use the remnants of this ribbon as a balloon string. So keep those in your stash and just grab them out when you're making a card with balloons. Or flowers. There could even be flower stems, couldn't they? You've gone to the trouble of cutting them. You want to get the most out of that cut, right? Okay, so what fun. And the other thing that I'm going to do is use some of our gorgeous discs. These are iridescent circles, and you can use about 5 of these. They're not an expensive embellishment. And there's 5 different colours, so we can have all of them represented on our card, right? Just because we can. There we go. So that just kind of adds a bit of extra sparkle. And then what I would do is go ahead and stick that straight down onto my card base. How cool does that look? See that shimmery and shininess? Here is my original card. Let me just bring that in so that you guys can see. I've used the little fairy lights, as well as the spots and the stripes and the trees. So yeah, that could definitely be, if you turn them that way, the trees could be arrows, I guess. But I've turned them the right way there. Would you like to see some more cards using, using this suite? I've made some shaker cards. So here's 2 little shaker cards. I used the one of the dies which cuts out the light shape, and I just cut around the outside just to create a little frame that goes around the window. And these were done with scraps again. And these are little punch outs from when I made tags. I actually made these tags for all my customers, and because I made quite a lot of them, I ended up with heaps of these little tags. Let me just get that off. I ended up with lots of these little punch outs when the tag was created. So I got them all together in their colour groups, and I've used them to make these little shaker cards. So there's 2 little shaker cards, 2 little tags made with some of the dies in the big catalogue. You could use these as bookmarks as well. You can put them in the pages of your catalogue, which was the idea when I sent them to my customers. And 2 of our new ribbons, I've used them there. And that's what the stamps look like when you stamp these stamps to create the little lights. Here is a fun card that I made with a string of different lights, and I used my scraps that I had on my table. This is Lemon Lime Twist, really funky, happy, bright colour. Goes brilliantly with all of the bright colours in this set. You can even punch out with the dies the little filaments of the globes in the lights. Lots of fun. And use one of the longer dies in the set as like a string to hang them on. Yeah, so that's lots of fun, again, using lots of scraps. And here is the green version, which I think I popped on my, up on my Facebook page, the green version of the same colour. So you've got a melon mambo and a lemon lime twist version, which goes brilliantly with that granny apple green. And used a slightly different embossing folder in the background. That's again the same one from the online exclusives embossing folders. So yeah, there you go. That's the Merry Bold and Bright suite, which is probably my favourite suite. As you can see, I've been creating lots and lots of different things with it. Lots of these will be on my blog and on my Facebook page. Now, our third and final question, and I can see some of you have been answering these, which is great. Good luck, everyone. Okay, last question is, name one new accessory from the new mini catalogue. So one new accessory from the new mini catalogue, and they're all at the back. So it's things like the ribbons, the embellishments, the tools, the embossing folders, things like that. Just name one of them and I will pick a winner out of the correct answers. Remember, these will be up for a week, so those people who are watching online a little bit later on, not live, will still be able to play, still be able to answer. And for the second question, you could be winning the heart pearls. I forgot to say, you'd be winning the heart pearls. The last question that I've just asked, which was about the embellishments, accessories, sorry, you will win the metallic shimmer specialty paper. So all of these will be in the prize pool, and good luck, everybody. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my presentation today. I hope it's given you some ideas. If you haven't yet placed an order for from the new catalogue, you can, if you're a demonstrator, obviously you can place it on a demonstrator order and get your discount. If you would like to join Stampin' Up, let me know and I can send you an information pack about that. You may have over $235 worth of products on your wish list. Wouldn't you love to get that for $169? Join Stampin' Up and you can get that all as part of your starter kit. Or you can place an order with me either via phone or email or in my online store 24/7. I love that you can shop in your pajamas when you're shopping your craft supplies with Stampin' Up in the online store. And there is a whole heap of new products in there. So if you haven't been in the last couple of days, you will be amazed at how many new products there are to choose from. So get on there and have a look. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask on here in our last couple of minutes, or you can go directly to my Facebook page, or you can even send me an email at stampin@vanessaweb.net. Yeah, so please ask if you've got any questions about the products or anything that I've demonstrated today. I kind of let you in a little bit on my card making techniques, what I tend to do. Nothing's perfect. I don't measure a lot of stuff. I just kind of go with what I like the look of. And I really do love to play with all the different options. So when you've got a whole suite of products, it allows you to put together things in different ways. And you'll often be thinking, of a new card design as you're creating one. So, yeah, you often spend many hours at once in your craft room if you've got that luxury. And I really love having that luxury, and I love being able to create, over a period of time and just let the products tell me what they want me to do with them. There are lots of lovely new things to be looking at for sure. So yeah, I will be popping these on my Facebook page, these projects that we just looked at, and you'll be able to replay this as well as I will put it up on my YouTube channel so that you can see it in the future too. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that, that you enjoyed it, and thanks for participating, and good luck everyone, and happy stamping. I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks, Mel.